To WA, where we find Ashley Gillen. Ash, many seats likely to change hands there. I know there's been an intense focus on the Teal-held seat of Curtin.
Yes, Liberals certainly hoping that this seat of Curtin is one that will change hands tonight. But for everyone playing along at home, the other couple of seats I'm really looking at tonight here in Western Australia is Tangney, that is Labor's most marginal seat in WA, and also Bullwinkle, a three-cornered contest in that newly created seat at this election. Also on my radar tonight, Pearce, Moore, Forest and also Fremantle. Those last three seats all have Teal candidates in them. I'm very keen to see just how those independent challenges are eating into the votes of the major parties and how the preferences are impacted by that as well. Of course, here in the seat of Curtin and in Western Australia, the only incumbent independent and the most high profile is Kate Chaney in this seat of Curtin. She joins us here. We're at the Rosalie Primary School voting booth. Kate Chaney, really appreciate you joining us. Thank you so much.
Good to be here, Ash.
This seat of Curtin has had a bucket load of money thrown at it during the campaign period from your side as well as Tom White for the Liberal Party. How confident are you can hold on to it tonight?
Ash, I'm sure it's going to be close here in Curtin. I think no one should ever take a seat for granted and it will come down to the line. But I'm really, really proud of the campaign that we've run, which has been positive and which is focused on the message that people do have an alternative to the two-party system and they can have someone who's accountable to them.
The last couple of days, the focus has been on the Labor Party and whether or not there's been a deal with you. The Labor Party has been accused of running dead in the seat of Curtin to help you out, essentially. Have you done any deals with the Labor Party? Has that impacted your chances?
Yeah, look, I've done no deals with any political parties. That's the whole point of being independent. And unfortunately, there's no ban on lies and political ads, so there's nothing that we can do about that. There's no, there is no deal, but we will get these personal attacks, this sort of stuff we're getting from behind as well. This is what the Liberal campaign is. It's all about personal attacks instead of actually focusing on policy and on the issues that people care about. And people again and again say to me at the polling stations that they're appalled by the sheer volume of attack ads, and it just shows that there's nothing else there.
Kate Chaney, really appreciate you making the time. Thank you. We'll go and break this up between the volunteers behind us. Like Ross said, look, there are volunteers probably 20 to 1 in this seat, in this voting booth, I'd say, Kieran. It's ghostly quiet here. No voters to be seen. But back to you for now.
Yeah, we don't want to clash in Cottesloe. That'd be unheard of, wouldn't it? Thanks, Ash. Let's go to Matt Cunningham in the seat of Solomon in Darwin. Matt, Labor's held this seat since 2016. Why is the coalition confident this time?
Yeah, well, you'd have to think with an 8.4% margin that Labor's Luke Gosling is absolutely the favourite to hold on, Kieran, but there are some real local issues at play in the seat of Solomon, in particular the issue of law and order. We know cost of living is the #1 issue across the country, but I think it could be argued that here in the Northern Territory and in Darwin, law and order probably trumps cost of living. We know it's a territory government or a state and territory government issue, but it is still front of mind for a lot of people here. I might just bring in the Country Liberal Party candidate, Lisa Bayliss. Lisa, thanks so much for your time. What's the mood been out on the doors today?
Yeah, look, crime is still the #1 issue in the Northern Territory, followed by cost of living. Territorians are doing it tough out there, not only just for how they're living with expenses, everyday expenses, but just also the high crime levels. So that's been, when I speak to people, still the #1 issue. Traditionally
an issue that is handled by state and territory governments. I mean, what could a federal coalition government do to make any difference here?
Yeah, look, I said it when earlier debates I've spoken to people on the street. The 7-point plan that Leah Finocchiaro, the Chief Minister, put to the federal government, and they've not actually endorsed anyone except for one. And we need real practical measures to do anything we can to try and combat crime. So I think be able to work together with Leah Finocchiaro and the rest of the Northern Territory government to try and get the best we can for the Territory.
Well, thanks so much for your time, Lisa. We've got about an hour till polls close in the Northern Territory, so I'll let you get back to it. It is a really interesting seat, Kieran, and I think it's interesting, that issue of law and order. Also interesting, we hear Lisa Bayliss there talking about trying to work with Leah Finocchiaro. She only came to power last August, but when she did, there was an absolute landslide win for the Country Liberal Party, particularly here in Darwin and Palmerston, where the seat of Solomon lies. Labor lost every one of its seats at that election. If that transpired here, they'd be out on their ear, but I think there might also be different federal issues that people are talking about today.